Let's see. The anti-air is so important. Having an uppercut mentality, like I was talking about earlier, where you're playing footsies, but you're thinking about uppercut. I'm not sponsored by Hitbox. You want me to get 1K subs? Well, you want to win some tournaments? So this standing medium kick is like the start off button with Sagat when you're zoning. You don't just slam on it. You gotta space it really well. And it's just so hard for them to attack when you do this. So I want to demonstrate how if they jump over blocking a standing medium kick, oftentimes you can anti-air them. There's some exceptions to this, but this is a good place to start. So I do standing medium kick. They block it. I still recover for the uppercut. The uppercut. Now this isn't true all the time. Like Rashid, can't do this to Rashid. Because his jump heavy punch, it's gonna hit me pretty high. But it's very rare. So what can you take away from this? Is that standing medium kick is -2. And if I do another one, I'll recover in time to do an uppercut most of the time. So if I do a move that has less total animation frames than standing medium kick, for sure I'll be able to recover in that. Like crouching medium punch. Or if I stand light kick. So this is going to aid in the footsies while I know if they jump at me I can anti-air them. So let's see about these fireballs. That's even. So the fireball around this distance, I can do the same thing. But that's not going to be as effective, right? Maybe not. If I throw the fireball, and maybe if they dash at me, they might get hit by the medium kick. So that's not a good like tactic. Crouching DP, it's not that I'm doing crouch DP anyways. It's just when I'm doing standing medium kick, I'm recovering standing. So he's just hitting the recovery of my stand. He's punishing the second medium kick. When I'm doing this, he hits me there. Because he can hit jump heavy punch really early. Because Rashid is a piece of crap. What up, Shark Bite? So standing medium kick, standing heavy punch, it has less range than standing medium kick. But this button is the V-trigger mechanic button, I think, along with critical arc. I'm doing it right, I think. So standing heavy punch is excellent to confirm off of. You can confirm V-trigger activation. Oh yeah. I'm a little sleepy, so maybe not. Dang. You can easily confirm critical art. But let me see if I still got these. There we go. Gotta find the time for it. There we go. It's tough, but I think it's possible. Especially if you see your opponent whipping something while you hit heavy punch, and then you know it's gonna hit them. So this is +10 on block if you activate V-trigger. You don't get a whole lot. You don't get really anything. Sometimes I do toward medium kick, but it doesn't do anything. There's a big space in between doing that. I mean, I guess you can hit stand medium kick and it'll frame trap, but it's pretty meaningless. Unless you do the V-trigger after Tiger Strike. So those are like the main tools. Medium kick is faster than heavy punch and has more range. Stand heavy punch, it's slower, but it's excellent for activating V-trigger off of. If you activate and they're standing, you can do another heavy punch, doing the Tiger Strike, or you can do heavy punch, level 2 Tiger Strike, fireball, and then dash up and you have frame advantage. Which, maybe that's what I should be doing. That's another like subject in regards to his V-trigger activation. Because when you do this combo, that's going to take up 2/3 of the actions you can do while your V-trigger is activated. But if I do this, we should compare the damage on it. 236. And look at what the Tiger needs. So for using 1/3 of my V-trigger, I already forgot how much it was. It was like 60 damage. I gained 60 damage for using one more of those. So I think I should just do this more. Unless I specifically want the corner carry. So yeah. Medium kick, heavy punch. Those are like the max range normals for Sagat. Along with heavy kick. But this move is harder to use. Actually, I don't know which has more range. Medium kick or... Stand medium kick still has more range. Standing heavy kick is tricky because it whiffs on crouching opponents at a distance. This doesn't work. But that is good. This is easily confirmable into your Tiger Rush. You have so much time to do this. I'm a little sleepy, but I think I can do this without even, like, being half awake. Really easy to do. So yeah, standing heavy kick, activation as well. I'm guilty of doing this too early. I still need to, like, fix this. I activate like this, and this is wrong. Because that does 20 damage if I activate like that. But if I do it on the second hit, I start off at 90 damage. That's way better. So I can still activate much later than I've been doing. This is really good. Oh, this is a big improvement for what I've been doing. So yeah, heavy kick's a little bit trickier because if they're crouching, they can the heavy kick can whip under them, and then they can whip punish you for doing that. So you don't want to be overzealous with this, but you don't want to not do this. This button is really good because of the crouch counter property. So one thing I need to do more of is dash like that. Oh, I mean, heavy kick, fireball. I guess it's not as good as I thought. Heavy kick EX for sure is going to be alright. That's +4. If you have V skill attached to this, then you can uppercut off of it, and you get a lot of meter. You build a lot of red bar for doing that. And of course, you can car uppercut. This is medium punch only, I think. Yeah, you gotta use medium punch. Or heavy kick, medium punch uppercut. Oh yeah, this track is stupid. I believe in the corner you can do a fireball and then uppercut off of it without Kara. But this is gonna be a rare thing. Yeah. So I wouldn't focus on that. So to review, stand medium kick, priority normal. Crouching or standing heavy punch, V trigger normal. Crouching heavy punch is it's not as good as stand medium kick, but it's higher reward. And you get the crush counter and it creates a lot of space. And I know everybody wants that dash up, do big damage. That's not what crouching hard punch does. This is also safe on block. Crouching heavy punch is safe. -1. That was -2. Nice. Standing heavy punch -2. You get Oki after crouching heavy punch. Dash up twice and you're +3 against normal recovery. Boom, boom, boom. It's +3. But back recovery is going to be +8, so it's a little bit trickier. The thing is, when you do crouching heavy punch, you want to do it at a distance and not up close. Because if you do it like this, you're playing footsies with it. But if you do that, you're going to be further away, but still in throw range. So back recovery is going to be +8. So you got to make your way over there. So the opponent should back recover there. That's really the truth. So let's have them wake up buttons, right? This is kind of weird. So you can absolutely meaty this. Boom. Wow, my timing is trash. There we go. But the real thing is if you throw. If you can throw their back recovery, then you have good OP. And this you can actually do it. So you have to fake your way to do it. Can you upload this to YouTube? I might. Okay, so crouching heavy punch, that's all there really is to it. You can activate, and if you're close enough, you can get some stuff. But other than that, that's really all it is to it. I don't recommend uppercutting after this. It whiffs too often. If you're like even a sliver too far away, you're gonna get crush countered. So like maybe a little bit further away, I don't bother with it. In the corner, you get some good stuff. But yeah, crouching heavy punch is like, I don't know how to describe it. If they're in this range, this is where you can replace your standing medium kick with crouching heavy punch. Which is like right about here. And then when they're starting to get even closer, crouching medium punch. Now, there's a couple things you can do off this crouching medium punch. If they're really close when they counter hits, you can convert off of it. But this is rare. I wouldn't focus on it as far as neutral is concerned. A lot of people have the habit of throwing tiger shots, which I think is something you should have in your arsenal. But what I would suggest learning how to do is to buffer crouching medium punch and then tiger knee at max range. Ideally, you want this to hit them. So you see when I do it at this range, I'm -2. If they crouch, it might be different. -2 still, but you gotta space it really well. If you do it like up here, -3, that's technically punishable. Even closer, -7, don't do it. And sometimes if you're really close and you can see it, you hit the light kick knee, and it'll be even better. It's -0. I'm even. So I suggest that. Now while you're playing footsies, if you see that your crouching medium punch is going to hit, then I recommend doing EX Tiger knee. Especially if it's going to put your opponent in the corner. Now one thing that I was doing a lot today was just going to the EX Tiger Shot a lot. Just go straight up going to EX Tiger Shot. That opens up the knockdown options. And all you gotta do is dash him twice. You dash him twice and you got Oki. What up, Papa Bear? I was gonna call you Papa Bear. That ain't right. So there's this crouching medium punch. This is the bufferable normal, right? Stand light kick as well, but crouching medium punch is what we want to focus on for now. Because stand light kick, you can't get a knee off of it at a distance. But crouching medium punch, you can get that knee, you create a lot of space. You don't get a great knockdown, but what you can do is when you hit this crouching medium punch, tiger shot. And this kind of depends on the matchup, but I don't even know which tiger shot I usually throw, but this is a medium kick tiger shot. I just want to show the idea. Medium kick tiger shot, they block it, and then I V-skill. So I throw the tiger shot, they have to address it, and then I V-skill. Sometimes, I just wait for them to back recover, and then I'll V-skill. I try to sneak in many ways to get this V-skill. It's very important to be able to have this. If you can't get it, then you can't get it. But this really changes the anti-air capability of Sagat. If you uppercut without this, it doesn't feel that threatening. When you uppercut with V-skill, it still doesn't feel very threatening to a lot of people. But there's a long-term investment with it, because you're getting more damage, you're creating more space, and then you can do this again now. So I throw the tiger shot, V-skill. But if I don't have angry charge, they're going to be much closer to me. So we'll take normal recovery for now. So normal recover, and look at how close they are to me. But if I have V-skill, and then I throw the tiger shot, a little bit further away. And if they back recover, I get another V-skill, and it's like I can loop my own V-skill. I got the V-skill again. And what I could also do is high tiger shot. Like the slow one. So if they back recover, they have to crouch under this. Is he doing a button? Do I get a tiger knee? A slow high tiger shot. V-skill. I don't know if it's always safe. There's probably some like characters who can deal with it specifically. Maybe Bison can slide it, that kind of thing. But this allows me to like initiate my neutral like at a full speed. Because now if they jump over these normals, it's gonna mean much more. Because this V-skill is going to give me an earlier activation once I uppercut them with it. So I'll show you what I mean. If I have no V-gauge, and then I uppercut from here, I get about 1/3 of a bar. And that really makes a difference. The more you build up your V-trigger, I feel like right about here, I'll get my V-trigger activation if I just take hits. But if I do white damage, if I get some crush, if I absorb my white damage back, if I get some crush counters, and if I get the V-skill, I might get the activation like right here. That's really good. Because what that means is I have more health to get my second activation. But then the next, I don't want to get too much into this part, but the next thing is like how do you manage that V meter as much as possible? And this is something that Sagat really taught me. Is like how to carefully plan out what you're doing with that red bar. Which is why sometimes I've been doing just straight up like this. When I have early activation available, I want to activate it as soon as possible and spend it so I can start building it back up again. So if I have my health at like 75%, I'm very likely to get another V trigger activation. So while I want to spend it quickly, I want to spend it efficiently too. So it really depends on what's going on during the matchup, but generally, I gotta sneeze! I sneezed. Generally, I just go for a hit activation or a block activation, anything, whatever it's gonna take to get the meter going. Okay, so we talked about stand medium kick, central button. Stand heavy punch, V trigger activation button. By the way, sometimes you're too far away, so you have to call out for any kind of conversion. Crouching medium punch is next in line. Well, crouching heavy punch, when you can get the crush counter for that, it's really nice. And crouching medium punch. Next would be stand light kick. And maybe crouching medium kick. Crouching medium kick actually has more range than crouching medium punch, but it's slightly slower. And really the only thing you can do off a crouching medium kick is EX Tiger Shot. When it's at a range like this, that's really what you gotta do. Just low forward, EX low Tiger Shot. Dash up twice as usual. Because a regular Tiger Shot's not gonna combo. Uppercut, forget about it, don't do it. Tiger knee, not really a thing. So if you're doing this, there's no point. So yeah, low forward, Tiger Shots. Now the one thing that I haven't talked about at all is Tiger Shots. It's really complicated to talk about Tiger Shots into neutral. It's hard to do. Whereas I think in the other games for Sagat, the first thing to do was Tiger Shots? Maybe? Maybe I'm just thinking of Sagat. And then maybe in other games, it's really all about his normals. Even in Cross Tekken, if I threw a fireball and they jumped over me, I got crashed. So it's almost like Sagat's fireballs, if you were to compare that, for him in this game, it's like medium kick. It's hitting these normals. These are your fireballs. You have to implement those first before you can even think about throwing Tiger Shots. At least in my opinion. Oh, there's a few other neutral tools that I'm forgetting about. And that's Tiger Knee. Just Tiger Knees in neutral. It's really good to learn the spacing for Tiger Knees. They have a lot of active frames. If you do a heavy kick Tiger Knee well enough, you can actually have frame advantage. That was +2. EX Tiger Knee, maybe about here. +3. That's perfect. That's why sometimes you see me hit standing light punch. Standing light punch is, I think, what you want to go for there. And then crouching medium punch. Because you can be just outside of range to get like this combo. It might not work. You know what I mean? So, stand light punch right into the crouching medium punch. That will work on counter hit. And it's also a frame trap. This is a frame trap. +4, crouching medium punch is 7 frames. Oh yeah, and toward medium kick. This button is really challenging to use. It is a reactable low move. It has the most range, I think, out of his normals. But it's reactable. So the way I try to use it is to combine it with other things. So that my opponent is trying to hit something and then it counter hits them. That's like the best way for me to hit this. Now, if forward medium kick counter hits, you can get stand light kick. Right? So depending on where they're at in the match, you may want to do EX Tiger Knee. If they're close enough, you can do stand light punch. And that's going to give you Okizemi. I don't recommend doing EX Tiger uppercut like that, unless it's going to kill them. Now, if they're standing, then that's where EX Tiger Shot is great. This is an excellent knockdown. I think it's one of Sagat's best knockdowns. Right there. Forward heavy kick, medium kick, Tiger Knee. It puts you at great advantage on their normal and back recovery. But you have to hit stand light punch for their normal recovery because they're +2 and you don't have a 3 frame. So you gotta hit this. So that's where that could fit in. And you can also, of course, do heavy kick. That's gonna force them to stand, and you got this. That's really good. I'm getting lost here. This is not a pre-planned lecture or whatever you want to call it. We were talking about EX Tiger Knee. So EX Tiger Knee is super good if you can space it correctly. If it hits, that's great. But there's not many moves in this game where you can space it, where you can throw it out and be at an advantage, where you can throw them and it'll be a frame trap. There's not a lot of moves like that. Like on block, but it's very challenging to do this. Like the spacing has to be perfect. And the spacing is also influenced by your opponent standing or crouching. If they're crouching, their hitbox becomes fatter. Therefore, the EX Tiger Knee hits sooner by 1 frame. So where they're +3, if they crouch, they'll then be +2 because it's gonna hit them 1 frame sooner. And that makes it a big difference in some matchups. But yeah. That was a +3 knee. So EX Tiger Knee, crouching medium punch, heavy punch, stand medium kick, of course. Heavy kick we talked about. Forward heavy kick is kind of matchup specific for me. If it's a character that I can anticipate might jump, I'll throw it out there. This is more of an anti-air move. And sort of a combo tool. Sometimes I'll sneak it in some matchups. And if they get hit blocking, it has the frame advantage, so that's nice. But this move, we can put it away for now. This is more of a, almost like a combo tool in anti-air. Okay, so what else? Got the low forward into EX Tiger Shot. Stand light kick. Just like low forward, you want to go into EX Tiger Shot. There's not many other things. Sometimes EX High Tiger Shot. And on the subject of buffering in the Tiger Shot, if you can get the low forward into this, it feels so good to do it. And just the same as stand light kick, you have to have V-skill active. So this takes some work. If you see that they whip a normal and you know it's standing, then you can do this. Oftentimes when I hit low forward high Tiger Shot, it's because I observed my opponent's habits. Like when they're blocking, they're not blocking down. Because Sagat doesn't have great low mix-ups. A lot of characters don't really. So like for example, if they're blocking, and then I do stand light punch for the frame trap here, and then I do this, I won't be able to convert off my crouching light kick. Unless I do something like this, and then uppercut. That's kind of whack. So what I do sometimes is this, and then low forward, and I do my best to, you know, observe that they're standing, but I don't think you can hit confirm low forward in the EX Tiger Shot. I don't think you can do it. So I just kind of assume that they are going to get hit low because they're standing. And this does great damage. This is great. Feels really good to hit that. And of course you go to the V-skill back. Would EX Tiger Knee be OD if it had armor? I don't think it would be necessary. He's already got an uppercut that's invincible on frame 3. EX Tiger Knee, if it had armor on frame 1, maybe it could be balanced because then it'd be unsafe. And you could throw him out of it. I don't want to think about it. Jaguar 2. What else should we talk about for Sagat? Bread and butters are pretty easy. Stand medium punch, crouching medium punch, medium kick Tiger Knee. I think that's the default thing you do. A lot of Sagat players will do this, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but you get more space out of a Tiger Knee. And you get the opportunity, or you get the chance to get a V-skill if they back recover. if they're not back recovering, then you get Oki. So that's something to keep in mind. A lot of people will back recover. That's really all there is to that. Stand medium punch, uppercut, critical art if it's gonna kill them. EX Tiger Shot, EX Tiger Shot for Oki. This is especially good for the side switch in the corner. EX Tiger Shot, boom. It won't side switch if they back recover. It will not side switch on back recover. But it's not so bad because even though it's not taking you out of the corner, they're pushing themselves further away from the corner by back recovering. So if I do this, I'm pretty much good. Back throw them. Fine. Let's see. What were we just talking about? I'm sleeping! I actually just forgot. Oh yeah, hit confirms. So yeah, heavy kick also. It's really challenging to get a heavy kick to hit clean. Sometimes if you hit it too far away, the crouching medium punch won't combo. So all you got is uppercut from here. That's it. Light confirms. You got stand light punch twice, and then crouching or stand light kick. Oftentimes I'll just do stand light punch and then stand medium punch, just assuming the counter hit, because that will combo on counter hit, and then also frame traps. Same idea. I've been using less meter for EX Tiger Knee to put them in the corner and just doing medium kick knee and saving the meter. And I think that's good. And like I mentioned earlier, crouching medium punch and stand light kick, uppercut. That's also there. The card cancels from medium or heavy kick. It's usually heavy kick if it's a frame kill. So this, heavy kick, forward heavy kick, medium kick knee. What else? What was I just talking about? Hit confirms. That might be it. There's crouching light kick as well. Some things change when you have V-Trigger 2 available. You can do this now. You can convert with that. But otherwise, you can Tiger Knee from this, light kick, maybe medium kick as well. Yeah, that works. But sometimes the range ain't right. That didn't combo, so light kick is a little bit faster. So, if I'm gonna do this, I think oftentimes I'll just go for the EX Tiger Shot, just for the knockdown. Whatever one's appropriate. Which reminds me, something very important with Sagat is to confirm that they're hitting, if they're standing or crouching, because if they're standing and you do low Tiger Shot, you missed out on damage and Oki. Oki meaning how long it's going to take for them to get off the ground, and what your options are to do something. What else? This is a really easy frame kill off of crouching heavy kick. This won't work on Ryu because he has a 3-frame reversal, but that's a 4-frame safe jump. If what is it? Ryu, Kami, Kuma. Characters who have a 3-frame reversal, invincible reversal, they can hit you out of that. But other characters, you'll land and block. But if they don't do it, you'll hit them with the jump attack. This is a really easy setup to just take in mind. If you want to side switch, you can do this, and then forward heavy kick. It's super meaty. You get quite a bit off of that. Anything else? Oh yeah, heavy kick, activate. I don't think it's right anymore. I used to do this all the time, but I think you don't want to charge up the heavy kick like that. You don't want to charge up the strike like that. I think that's a waste of meter. So just heavy kick and then Tiger Knee. Or Okizeme. Ooh, that's even on normal recovery. So then like this, EX Tiger Shot, and then boom, +8. Oh, that's good. I think I covered a lot. There's probably a lot more to cover, but do y'all have any questions as the music fades out?